Hello students, welcome to the Business Communication class with me Adela Samuel, Head Department of Accounting and Finance. Today's topic we are going to see is the layout of a business letter. Before we start off with the layout, we'll just see the two types of business letters that are present. Personal business letter and a business letter. What is a personal business letter? It is a letter that is sent from an individual to a person or a business organization. Business letter is a letter that is sent from a business to an organization or to another individual. So there is a difference. A personal letter is sent by a single person, an individual person. It is sent to a business. Then it's called as a personal business letter. If it's a business letter, then it is written by a business organization and it is sent to an individual or it is sent to another organization. So these are the two types of letters or business letters present. Coming to the major parts of a letter. So there are 7 parts for a letter. Number 1 is letterhead. That is the address of the person who is sending the letter. The heading is called as the letterhead. The date line is the second part, where it is the current date of the of writing the letter. Number 3 is inside address. It is the address of the person to whom the letter is written to. Salutation. It is the greeting of the letter. For example, dear sir or dear madam that you write, that is salutation. Body is the 5th part of the letter, which is the message. Number 6 is the complimentary close, the ending of the letter. And number 7 is the handwritten signature of the sender. These are the 7 major parts of the letter. So we'll discuss this in detail in the other slides. So the first part of the letter is the letterhead. So the letterhead will be designed or it will be printed by the company according to their need. So usually the name of the company, the address of the company and the phone number, the email ID, fax number, all these will be given in the letterhead. The name of the person who's owning the letterhead company head also sometimes might be written. It is left to the discretion of the business head. So once you see the paper itself, the letter itself, you will know from where the letter is coming. So that is why the letterhead is created. It is the heading of any letter. That is the first part of a business letter, which is the letterhead or the heading of a letter. These are some of the examples of a letterhead. The second one is the date line. The date line is the date on which the letter is being written. So that is the date line. The complete and the current date has to be given in the letter, and that is what is called as the date line. So usually under the address of the person who's writing the letter, under that maybe 1 or 2 lines below it, the date line will be present. It can be either written on the left hand side corner or it can also be written on the right hand side corner. Whichever the sender wants to follow, he can follow it. So the date is given. Usually in our country, in India, the date, the month and then the year, that is the format for our date line. That will be followed. If not, the month and the date can be written and a comma with the year can also be written. For example, in this letter you can see 12/8/2008. So it can also be written as August 12th, 2008. So any format can be followed. This is what is called as the date line. The next part of the letter is the inside address or the letter address. The inside address is the address of the person who is going to receive the letter. So that address has to be written below the date line. So 2-3 lines space can be given, and below that you can write the inside address. The address of the person who is going to receive the letter has to be written. That is the inside address. So this is mandatory. Usually every letter, business letter, this part of the letter will always be present. So this is another major part of a business letter. The fourth part of the business letter is the salutation. Salutation is otherwise the greeting that is given in the letter, greeting or how you're going to greet the person whom you're writing the letter to. So usually we follow the system of writing dear sir or dear madam. You can also use other terms like respected sir, respected madam. So that is what is called as salutation. So how you're going to greet the other person in your letter, that is what is called as salutation. Sometimes you can also use the Mr. and Mrs. or you can use Shri, Shrimati. All this can also be used after dear or respected. That can also be used. So that is what is the fourth part of a letter, which is the salutation of the letter. This is called as the salutation of the letter. The fifth and the major part of the letter is the body or the message that is given in the letter. So below the salutation, you're going to start off leaving a space, 1 or 2 line space, and then you will start off writing the letter. So the entire contents, the message that you're going to convey to the receiver is what is called as the body. So in the body, you have to make sure all the required information is given to the person who's reading. And the body should always have some kind of a purpose. So whatever is the purpose, based on the purpose only the message has to be written. Instead of simply writing unwanted lines or making the message as long as possible is not required at all. So they have to make sure it is in simple terms, it is giving the message information properly and the person is able to understand your message. That is very important in case of body or the message of the letter. So this body you should always remember to use the 7 C's that you've already studied earlier. The 7 C's or the guidelines for writing an effective letter. That has to be followed when you are writing the body part of the letter, so that the information will go to the receiver who is getting the letter. That is very important. So the fifth part of the letter is the body or the message of the letter. The sixth part of the letter is the complementary clause, the ending of the letter, that is the complementary clause. So this complementary clause can again be written under your body, can in the left side or in the right side, whichever case it is correct. So whether you want to write it in the left side below the body or right side below the body, it is okay. Now how do you finish this complementary clause? They always usually write yours sincerely or sincerely yours, yours truly, yours faithfully. All these things can be written as the complementary clause. This is the usually written format that is given to you. You can also write best wishes or you can write regards. If it is not a business letter, it's a friendly letter to a business person, then you can use these terms as regards or best wishes. But usually it is written as sincerely, sincerely yours or yours sincerely, like that. Okay, so this is the part which is called as the complementary clause, and this is also a part of the letter. The seventh part of the letter is the handwritten signature. The handwritten signature, the author's signature that is put at the end of the letter, that is whoever is writing the letter has to sign it and give an authorization that he has written the letter. So that is why it is very important. It's one of the major parts of the letter. So whoever is writing the letter has to sign the letter. So that part is a handwritten. So even if you type the letter, the signature has to be given handwritten. Or if you're sending an email to the person, then in that case a printed signature can be given or just the name can be typed out. So a signature, a person who is going to acknowledge the letter, authorize the letter, it will be the sender of the letter. So whoever's signature is there, it means that they are the ones who are sending the letter. So handwritten signature is another major part of a business letter or any letter for that matter. So these are the 7 parts of a business letter. Now here you can see a sample business letter. So on top you can see the address of the person who is sending the letter, which is otherwise the heading or the letterhead. So they can also give the name of the company that is there, or any designs or print or logo, all that can also be given. But in this letter, it's very simply written. Their address alone is written in this letter. Below that you can see the date line, that is the second part of the letter. Then in the left hand side you can see the inside address to whom the letter is going to be going to. So that is the inside address. Then you have the salutation. It's written as Dear Mr. Hatwell. So that is the salutation. Then comes the body of the letter. So the information that they want to convey is given in the body of the letter. Under the body of the letter you have yours sincerely, which is the complimentary close, and they have also signed it, printed, the signature is there. So that is the close of the letter, the signature of the letter. And because the signature you cannot understand who has written it, they've also mentioned the name of the person who has signed the letter. So this is how a business letter should look. This is a sample of the business letter. Thank you, students. Thank you for listening patiently to the layout of a business letter. I hope you've understood all the 7 parts of a business letter. Each and every part of the business letter is very important when you're writing a business letter. So any type of business letter, all these 7 parts is a must. So make sure you understand this concept very clearly. This is a usually asked question in all the question papers. So make sure you study this answer very thoroughly. Thank you, students. Thank you for listening.